Sleeves here with the Senior Pickleball Report powered by TNC Network. Let's get it going. All right, today we have an interview with Pro Spencer Smith. We talk about his new paddle, his signature paddle from Vatic Pro. He played a little bit of tennis at BYU. In high school, was a pretty big superstar in tennis. Found pickleball in all places. Well, Tinder. So we'll get into that a little bit. And we'll talk MLP, PPA. But before we get started, if you like this content, consider subscribing to the channel. Check out all the links in the description for discounts on paddles and shoes. Check out our newsletter as well and our merch page. All right, let's get to that interview with Spencer. Okay, let's welcome Spencer Smith, member of the Las Vegas Night Owls of the Major League Pickleball and pro on the PPA Tour, card holding pro. And obviously, he is sponsored by Vatic Pro. We're going to talk about his new signature paddle. Every guy's fantasy is to have their own signature paddle. We'll talk about Spencer's in a minute. But welcome to the show, man. It's good to see you.
Appreciate it. Happy to be here.
Right on. So, before we get into all the drama of professional pickleball and obviously having your new paddle and all the exciting stuff, let's talk about how this, wacky wiffle ball sport captured your life as well, because it's been a ride, obviously, for anybody that's been involved in it in any sort of level, let alone the pro level. So how did it come to you?
So, yeah, I knew about pickleball for a minute. My buddy Tyler Loom was already a pro, and I followed him on Instagram. I was like, that's pretty cool. I just never really got a chance to play. And then I got asked randomly on Tinder. They're like, do you want to go play pickleball? And I was like, sure, I'll probably be pretty good at it. And then I just played every day since. And so, that's pretty much how it started for me.
I mean, obviously you have a pretty significant racket sport background. Can you talk a little bit about that? Why you're so good right away, obviously out of the box. So
I've played tennis my whole life. Played really competitively. Played 4 years for BYU, and then played a little pro afterwards. And also during those years, I played a ton of ping pong. I think that helps a lot. Keeps the wrists fast, I guess. So.
What was, I guess, because you had tennis and you had, table tennis, what was the biggest, I guess, transition for you coming into the game?
Just learning the rules and just the right things to do. I mean, I pretty much could hit all the shots, just being able to dink over and over, I guess. But honestly, I felt like all the technique was very similar, just a little shorter. Yeah. So I picked it up quickly, and I was playing 4 hours a day too.
So did you gravitate right away to doubles? Because most people that come from tennis, they go right to singles.
Oh, I had started doubles and just went hard on doubles for a while. And then singles crept in. I love doubles a lot more, but I'll play singles. It reminds me a lot of tennis. So I don't know. Doubles is great though.
Yeah. Do you play tennis anymore?
No.
It seems to be the case with most people.
Yeah, I was a coach, so I was on the court every day, but I don't really miss it.
I bet. Yeah, I know most people I talk to, once they start hitting this wiffle ball, the tennis days are generally behind them. Let's talk about, obviously, it's one thing, take up the sport, you're pretty good at it, even turn pro, but now you have your own signature paddle. So talk me through the process that it seems like you've been with Vatic Pro for coming up probably on about a year now. Is that right?
Yeah. And Thanksgiving-ish, it'll be about a year.
Yeah. So, walk me through that. Obviously over the year, I'm assuming you had some significant input of what you wanted to play with and what you wanted the paddle to be. So talk a little bit about that process. And, by the way, I'm not going to name it. You can name it. What's the paddle called?
It is called Alchemy by Vatic Pro.
Right. So cool name.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. So Daryl, he owns Vatic, super nice guy. He just came to me and said he wanted to create a paddle with me as part of like when we were negotiating or whatever.
Sure.
And so that got me super excited. I've always wanted to do that. And I already like had ideas in mind of like the shape, how long the grip would be, just stuff like that. But like tech wise, he's the master of all that. So I just tell him and then he gets it done. So it's awesome.
Yeah. So it has obviously the throat hole, right? Correct?
Yeah. It's right here. I have it.
Yeah. Right on. So I read something. Can you fill that in, or what is there? Like, there's something you can remove or something?
It comes with an edge guard, but I take mine off. Just I don't feel like I need it, so it pops in and out.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, cool paddle, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, dude. So, what do you like best about it?
I think that it has great pop and control at the same time, and that's really what you're looking for in a paddle. You don't, at least for me in doubles, if the paddle's too soft, I feel like I'm losing hand battles all the time. Mm-hmm. And then if too much power, you can't control it. So I feel like we've done a good job of kind of reaching the middle there.
What's the core thickness of the one you're playing with? You play with a 13 and a half?
Yeah, 13 and a half. My old paddle was a 16 millimeter. That's traditionally what the paddles are. Mm-hmm. And so you lose a little control with a skinnier paddle. You get extra pop, but I honestly feel like it still has great control. So I'm happy with. I feel like it's faster than thicker paddles.
Cool. And you put any lead tape? You just play right out of the box what it is?
Yeah. So I put it down from the bottom.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Almost all around it. I just leave there and there.
How long in general terms do you play with a paddle before you switch it out?
It's a good question. Like Vatics, their materials are so good. These paddles last. Like the new paddles that are coming out, they'll delaminate and you'll just get crazy shots coming off the paddles.
Sure.
And so if I had a paddle like that, I'd want a new one every tournament. But with these, I can play a couple, even 3 tournaments with them, and they're still great. But I honestly, I try to bring a new paddle into every event.
Yeah. Yeah. And you put over grip on them?
Yeah. Take the main grip off so it's nice and small and just throw it over grip.
Okay. Right. Real small. Right on, man.
Hold it loose. Yeah.
Yeah. So how long's it been out now?
It came out for pre-orders in June and then shipped in July. So not too long.
Not too long. No, it looks like currently it's about 180, which is decent price for a paddle with that kind of technology. And obviously, from what I've read, reviews, people love it, man.
Yeah. I mean, I've had my friends play with it. If people are playing with it, they like it. It's not for everyone, I guess. It's got a lot of power, but I think it's a great paddle.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got the long grip. Awesome. So,
oh yeah.
Cool. Well, congratulations. It's obviously, like I said, it's sort of everybody's dream. Like if they ever play pickleball, like what's it like to design a paddle and have your name on it, man? And well, you've done it. Nice job,
man. It's cool. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Right on. Obviously, we'll get to MLP, but prior to getting to MLP, in a week or so, there were some doubts in the general public, maybe not players, if this version of MLP was going to happen, because obviously late August through September, even through like last week, the drama in professional pickleball continues. Talk a little bit about it as a player, because as people who talk about this stuff online like I do, it's one thing to just kind of chat about it and throw the money around and the idea of it, and who you're going to sign with, who you're not going to sign with, who you want to come out on top of this or who you don't. But it's another thing to be a person that's in it and sort of being whiplashed a little bit, because you don't necessarily always know, because you're getting conflicting, obviously, news from different people. You have different people pursuing your interests. So what was that like over the last couple months as far as, your emotional state goes, and then, having to go out and perform in a weekly basis anyways, knowing that you're not exactly, I'm sure, who you're going to quite be with.
Right. Yeah. It's been an emotional roller coaster, I guess you could say. When the news first came out and I got an offer, um, I was just like, wow, this is great. I can finally relax and like not have to work and just train and really do it hard full time.
Right.
Because like I'm pretty sure my men's doubles ranking is top 30. And even if you're that high, it's still like you're not getting paid a ton. So when
Right.
these new offers came out, we're all just like, wow, this is great.
Yeah.
We just can't wait to start. So I mean, I don't know as far as it goes, it's still going forward.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just that doubt that you're just like not sure what's going to happen because there's always new drama coming up in the pickleball world.
Sleeves here with the Senior Pickleball Report powered by TNC Network talking Picklin. What's Picklin? It's a little 5-foot wide net that you can use when you just want to pepper around with somebody, hit it back and forth. So you don't have any space, but you just need a couple feet. You can put it up against the wall, legs kind of fold in. Really simple fold-up design, goes into a nice little carrying case. $50. Link in the description. Great practice tool because when you're playing against the wall and just having a line, you still don't have that visual like you do in a game, in that peripheral, which is the net. And there's something different about practicing against the wall with a net. Trust me, I just started doing it, and I did it with Picklin. Link in the description. See you next time. And hey, let's pickle. And see what I did there.
Are you looking to stay up to date on the latest pickleball news and tips? Look no further than the Sleeves Senior Pickleball Report newsletter. Get the scoop on the sport, learn how to stay healthy while playing, and find out about upcoming tournaments. Subscribe now to get all the pickleball info you need.
And so things change quickly. So yeah.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, obviously, Steve Kuhn removes himself from MLP, and it looks like he's going to pursue Duper. Again, the merger hasn't happened officially yet or been released yet. And we've gone through different versions of the merger, and they've fallen apart. People come back together. How comfortable are you that things will be pretty solid going into 2024 between PPA and MLP?
That I am not sure. I'm with you on that. Just as players, we'd like them to work it out, I guess, but I honestly don't know what's happening there.
How comfortable are you that your contract will be honored?
My agent's pretty confident, so that gives me some confidence.
Yeah,
but
right on. That's good to know.
We'll see when January rolls around, and then we'll really know. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And it's sort of like the weather. It could change any second.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When I got into pro pickleball, each year I'm just like shocked at how the money gets more. And I'm just like, oh, it happened again. Oh, it happened again. So that's good news for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things, as someone who was, I was an educator. So we're not talking the kind of money you guys are talking. But at the same time, I was a person who went in and had to sort of negotiate for the teachers that I represented in our particular district, because we met with administrative people, and it was called meet and confer. I mean, if you look at any real major sport in the world, it seems that players do eventually have representation. They have an organization. They are, collectively working together towards something. And I get it. Pro pickleball is brand new. We're a few years into this. Obviously, it's tumultuous at this point, and people are, trying to figure out what it's going to be. Is it going to be a bracket play like tennis? Is it going to be a team sport? Is it going to be both? And at this point, it looks like it could be both. Do you think down the line that maybe players would be best suited having some collective, leverage? Because it seems at this point, and I don't know how long that'll last, that obviously the money is good. We don't know if it's going to be always guaranteed, and there could be lawsuits and all that. But do you think long term maybe having a collective body as far as a players association might be a good idea or not?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I've actually talked about that with one of my buddies before.
All right, let's get into MLP coming up. Obviously, you got a pretty cool team. You're playing, you got Yates, correct?
Yes.
Yates, you got Ackerman and Susanna Barr. So talk about expectations and the pool, not an easy pool, that group that you're in. Some might call it the group of death. I don't know. So talk about your team and sort of the grouping that you've been placed in for the Dallas event.
First, the team is great. I love playing with them. We get along great. We barely lost in the finals of the last one. So, I mean,
Right.
we want to beat that goal this time. So we're going for gold. Our group is tough. I think like a couple teams in there went 0-3 and maybe they shouldn't have, or there was a couple injuries and then they made some trades and now they're looking scarier, but I don't know. We have a great team, so I'm still confident we can make it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, great run last time, but it's one of those things, obviously, new venue, new tournaments, anything can happen. And when you're playing rally scoring and it comes down to, winning by those thin margins, obviously, one bad round can put you in. But if we look at sort of the challenger group as a whole, obviously, with the money pouring in, the competition is getting tough. I mean, to make the top 48 men, that's no joke. I mean, you put yourself around the top 30. So talk about, as the sport grows, what you think players that are holding those spots generally need to do to maintain them, because once the money gets to a certain point, you're probably going to have more people like Jack Sock coming along.
I totally agree with you. If you've got money and you're being a pro, you've got to be a pro every day, I think. I kind of learned this through all the years in tennis, whether it's like physical training or getting out on the court, eating well, just treating yourself like a pro. That's what you've got to be doing, because the competition is going to get tougher, like you said. They're younger and there's going to be more money, so more people. And it's just going to get harder.
Give me a typical week of a pro that, let's say there's not a tournament. Give me what a week looks like for you in general.
I'm getting on the practice court, or at least trying to, every day. I go to my on off weeks. I have a trainer. I go 3 times a week. He kicks my butt. And then other than that, I just teach a few lessons here and there and have a lot of free time.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think the free time is actually probably an important thing that a lot of people maybe just take for granted, because it's a way to sort of decompress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's hard to, let's say you practice for 4 hours in a day, but we practice really hard. So, I mean, I'm exhausted after that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a long season. If you look at the amount of events that you're required to play, and in a calendar year, there doesn't seem to be much of a down season, much of an off season. So talk about what's happened this year with you, and up to this point, and if you're satisfied with how the season's gone and what you got left and what you'd like to accomplish for the rest of. We've talked MLP, but let's talk PPA.
The start of this year wasn't great. I don't think I played great in like January, February, but then March, April, May, June, pretty much the rest, I was playing better, made several quarterfinal runs and doubles. And that's it. I mean, it's been hard this year just because I've had a lot of different partners. So really, I've just been trying to find someone I play well with. Yeah. So, I mean, next year I've got a couple people that I've locked in pretty well. So I think it will go better instead of just like switching around in all these tournaments.
You prefer gender, or do you prefer mixed?
It's tough. It's all about the partner, I guess.
Yeah.
If you have a good partner, they're both awesome to play. Anybody
you can tell us that you might play some events with next year?
I know I'm playing the first 3 with Philip Locklear in men's doubles, but so that's about it so far.
Okay, right on.
And talks with others, though.
Sure. And is that, let's, talk briefly about that. That's got to be a little bit of the stress in the game, obviously, is trying to figure out, like you mentioned earlier, who works best, what's a good fit. But, looking down the road, and obviously, people change partners, people get hurt, people get sick, people change plans. So talk a little bit about that and the process of being a pro and finding somebody for all these events.
Yeah, no, it's really tough. I feel like because everyone wants someone who's better than them. So you're just always trying to find a really good partner. And then some guys will even they'll get offers and they'll have a partner and they'll get an offer and be like, sorry, I'm going to play with this guy now. So that can even happen too. Yeah. But it's stressful. I've been doing it like a year in advance. Like, do you want to play next year? You just talk with everyone and try to work it out that way.
Yeah. Yeah. To me, that would be probably the most stressful part of playing pro ball is just trying to figure out who it is. And because obviously, like you said, you want to have a good fit. Everybody's trying to upgrade. So, well, hey, man, I appreciate your time. We'll get you out of here. Folks, check out the Vatic Pro Alchemy. It's Spencer's new signature paddle. Badass looking, man. And you can pick that up, $179.99. And obviously, check him out at MLP next week. Go Night Owls. And hey, best of luck for the rest of the season, PPA-wise as well.
Appreciate it, man. It was great talking to you.
All right. All links in the description, folks. Check them out. All right. Hope you enjoyed our interview with Spencer Smith. All the links in the description below if you need to get a hold of Spencer or find his paddle. And check out our links again as well. And hey, let's pickle.